Question 1. In what ways does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? All media productions take light in other media productions according to Bennett et al. 2006, which means that no media product is truly unique and therefore follow the codes and conventions set by previous media texts from each genre. I noticed that the research I did for my media product reflected this ideology due to needing to understand the genre and previous media texts in relation to this genre in order to create my own for my target audience. The music video I wanted to create was in the indie genre. Usually the indie genre includes bands with guitars and an upbeat feel-good tempo. However, I looked at the indie genre from the perspective of an artist who is trying to make music for themselves, as an indie comes from the word independent, which links with my artist Lillian, as she is an unsigned act. Lillian's song Pain, originally called Another Miss You song, was the song I was going to use for my music video. When making a music video, you have to consider what you are going to make, as there are two types of music videos: performance and narrative-based videos. Performance videos showcase the artist in a studio or performance setting such as a stage, singing or lip-syncing their own song, whereas a narrative video tells a story either relating or not relating to the lyrics of the song. Upon leaving my group, I decided to do a performance-based video with my artist. In order to make sure it looked as professional as possible, I needed to look at real media text to understand the codes and conventions of real media products by looking at media language, representation and genre. I did this to ensure that my target audience would understand my preferred reading, Stuart Hall, which was crucial in order to be successful at trying to create a real-looking media product. How do I use conventions of real media products? As I started my research before I left my group, I was still researching into both performance and narrative-based videos. The first one I looked at was an old narrative video by Hardwell with their song Apollo. Highlights the representation of characters through the use of mise-en-scène, in particular the costume and the makeup. I needed to create a star persona, Richard Dyer, in order to create my audience to see my music video as a real product, but also to characterize my artist in a way that would speak to my audience. Looking at this video also helped me understand that there are different roles that women play in music videos. In Apollo, the mother is seen as an object for her father to beat around, shown with the use of costume makeup for a black eye, yet she's still shown as caring and loving. By doing this, they have achieved in making the audience feel empathy for that character. Though I didn't want to show abuse, the lyrics of the song that I planned on making my video for did have lyrics linked to pain. I therefore pastiched the idea of a weaker female in order to portray my artist feeling vulnerable and hurt, to show that she is a human and does have emotions. This creates a link between the audience and the artist, which therefore makes my artist seem down to earth, but also creates a peer-to-peer address with the audience, which would make my artist seem more likeable, as the audience can relate to her. I also looked at Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball video in order to understand the other roles that women can play. She too shows vulnerability with her direct gaze to the audience, which I prestige with my media product, as it shows the pain behind the mask of the star persona. The other side of the character that Miley Cyrus plays is a strong, independent and sexual female who can still be empowering through the use of femininity. Dismemberment is used to create sexual desire towards Miley, which links to Laura Mulvey's theory of male gaze, where a woman is sexually objectified. By displaying a woman's body without her head, it gives the impression that they are only objects without a brain. I used a version of this for my own music video, as I have extreme close-ups of her hands, lips and eyes, which are seen to be the most feminine aspects of sexual desire, excluding the female sex organs. By using these, I would display my artist's sexuality in order to attract the audience through the ideal self and ideal partner theory, Carl Rogers. I also pastiched the high exposure look from Wrecking Ball, as it connoted to my innocence and purity, linked to how women in the video are hurt and in pain, just like what my video is trying to portray. It also looks visually dynamic and is something different to regular videos, which means that it would catch audience's attention. The makeup of Miley Cyrus I also pastiched, as it looks natural and minimal, but still making my artist look good and like a star. The basic makeup makes my artist seem down to earth again to create a link between her and the audience. How do I challenge the conventions of real media products? The main convention I challenge is not by using a narrative structure. In most music videos, a narrative is used to tell the story and create a preferred reading, Stuart Hall, whereas I have been dynamic and I'm usually using the artist's raw emotion to show what has happened to her, just as Miley Cyrus does with her video Wrecking Ball. I am therefore using the Enigma technique, as my audience will never for sure know the full story behind her pain, but can still understand that she went through something emotional and can relate to her, as they understand the similar struggles with anything that they feel emotional about. I also use far more cuts between different takes to create a visual effect. The crust of rolls slowly changes what is going on in the video to show how it is a passage of time, connoting that time is the one that will heal you if you are down. I have also used these to make my video more interesting, keep my audience interested, and keep them watching. I do this by building up the slow transitions and longer cuts to shorter and choppier cuts in order to not lose interest throughout the video.